Today we're excited to be back here almost in the exact same spot as last year with the same beautiful spring weather to announce the second year of Salt Lake City and the State of Utah Division of Air Quality partnering to distribute electric mowers to Salt Lake City residents. We know it as the Lawnmower Exchange Program. Many of you, all of you know that during certain times of the year, Salt Lake City has a real air quality problem, particularly during the hot months of summer when we face ozone challenges and during our coldest months of winter with wintertime inversion and the particulate matter pollution that builds up. Our wintertime pollution is improving, and that's thanks to the efforts of the DAQ, I hope Salt Lake City, lots of other municipalities, and really individual decisions by business owners and residents to help clean up our air. We still have a long way to go on our wintertime pollution. But in the meantime, what we're doing today is focusing at the neighborhood level, really the backyard and front yard level of Salt Lake City's air quality issues. We're facing smokier summers, hotter summers, and our ozone levels are too often quite unhealthy for our residents. Two-stroke engines like lawnmowers and snowblowers rather are some of the worst culprits for producing criteria emissions that end up leading to ozone or other air pollution. A single gas-powered lawnmower produces the same amount of pollution as driving a new car 64 miles. These kind of ridiculous ratios of the equipment that we use on a day-to-day basis, whether that's a water heater before we put in the ultra-low NOx ones through the DAQ, or our snow blowers and lawnmowers, are the kind of things that drove me into running for office, trying to advance the conversations to change the way we operate as residents, as consumers, on a day-to-day basis that would help clean up our air. It's so the Lawnmower Exchange is one of the many ways that Salt Lake City is working to improve our air quality. You know that we're planting an additional 1,000 trees every year on our city's west side, in addition to the 1,100 or so we plant citywide. We're improving our bus connections from the west side to the east side and reverse. We're subsidizing UTA to run those buses more often and where our residents will use them. And the biggest of all is moving forward with our 100% renewable energy partnership with more than a dozen other municipalities and Rocky Mountain Power that is going to get us 100% renewable energy this decade as soon as we possibly can. The lawnmowers are one layer of that cake of air quality improvement that we're working every single day and year-round on. So this is one of my favorite programs that we do, and we really have to thank the Division of Air Quality and its director, Bryce Bird, for saying yes to accepting financing from Salt Lake City, just direct cash to the DAQ to subsidize Salt Lakers' access to some of the electric mowers. Now, Bryce can tell you more about how this program is available to many other municipalities and their residents. But what we're setting aside today expands what we did last year. Last year, Salt Lake City financially supported 509 electric mowers getting into the garages and the hands of Salt Lake City residents. But that 509 is equivalent to more than 4 tons of pollution a year being removed from our airshed. Our city's funding last year helped nearly quadruple Salt Lakers' access to the program and their participation in it. And our focus on prioritizing at least 25% of those mowers last year for West Side residents, where both our wintertime and summertime pollution is typically at its worst, increased the West Side participation from 1 to 2% before the city got involved to 26% last year. And this year we're going to do a lot more. So our funding this year takes the number of electric mowers for Salt Lakers up to 1,000. And starting in an hour and 20 minutes, you can hop onto the website, which is a lottery to participate. It's not a lottery, it's a chance drawing. Thank you, sorry. Just getting real clear about that. Bryce, you'll tell us the website, right?
Lawnmower.utah.
Thank you. Lawnmower.utah.gov, starting at noon today. If you're a Salt Laker, go there and sign up. If you're not a Salt Laker, go there and sign up also. But if you live in Salt Lake City, you have prioritized access to 1,000 of these electric mowers. And if you're a West Sider, you also have prioritized access above all else to getting some of these mowers. So thank you to the CARET program. That's the Clean Air Retrofit and Off-Road Technologies. Great government acronym that helps us clean up the air through these two-cycle engine exchange. Thank you to Salt Lake City Sustainability for taking this request that I had a couple of years ago and bringing it to a reality with our partners at DAQ. And to all of our Salt Lake City residents out there who care so much about the air you and your family are breathing any given afternoon, please get onto that website, lawnmower,
Lawnmower.utah.
singular, lawnmower.utah.gov, and do your best to get one of these mowers in your hands. I'll turn the time over to Bryce, and I think we'd be happy to answer some questions after. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor Mendenhall and Salt Lake City for partnering on this effort. We have had this program in place for a number of years, and we are focusing on, of course, lawnmowers with this current incentive program. When we look at lawnmowers, as the mayor mentioned, not only the emissions that are associated while you operate the lawnmower, but also the storage of the fuels and spills all contribute to our ozone levels that we experience along the Wasatch Front during our summer months. So it is a program to help us really focus on cleaner technology that allows us to do the work that we need to do every day, but do it with fewer emissions. And that really is the focus of many of the efforts that we have at the Division of Air Quality, to understand that we are a growing area. We have particular air quality challenges both in the summer and the winter, but we can make choices as individuals that can reduce the impacts that we have, and of course our contribution to the poor air quality that we sometimes experience. We encourage people to be aware of the current situation, that in the spring and the fall we typically have very good air quality, but throughout the summer months, because of hot, dry, and cloudless summers, we're seeing ozone levels that have increased despite the fact that we're reducing emissions by the number of programs that we have in place right now. So it is important that we really look at everything that we can do to improve our efficiency, and especially reducing some particularly high emitting components, and that is our lawn and garden equipment, and the option that we have to use, of course, electric options in order to cut our lawns, mow our grass, weed eaters, things like that. This, again, particular program is focused on lawnmowers, and it is also focused on replacing existing lawnmowers, and so a recycling program is in place. So in Salt Lake City, when you sign up, you'll get information about how to contact for curbside pickup of your lawnmower in order to get the voucher that makes you eligible to then get the certificate for $299 toward a new piece of or a new lawnmower from either Home Depot, Lowe's, or Redback, which is a red
bag.
It's like a robot bag. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it's all on the website there, but the $299 is only available if it's combined with recycling an existing lawnmower. If you're in Salt Lake City, again, there's information there about how to get that picked up at your house. If you're not in Salt Lake City, if you're in one of the other counties, there's a list with a map of recyclers that are participating in the program. So you take that, remove the gasoline, remove the oil from the lawnmower, take it to the recycler, get the second part of the certificate in order to be able to go to the retailer in order to purchase that new piece of lawn equipment that is either battery or plug-in electric. I think also, as the mayor mentioned, it is always difficult to distribute this type of funding. We're looking at about $1 million of funding in total that we're providing for the program in combination with 3 different funding sources, including Salt Lake City's. The program, again, is focused on removing existing lawnmowers, but because there is always a lot of demand for these type of programs, what happens at noon is a registration for a random drawing that takes place in order to provide their certificates. And so first is to register. That starts at noon today. It's open for 24 hours. Once that registration is in place, the second step is that we will go through the computer process that will randomly select recipients that will then be notified by Wednesday about that they've been selected. Then the next step, once they're selected, is to then take their mower to the recycler. They'll have a certificate number that's part of that selection. That recycler will then fill out their certificate and document that they turned in a lawnmower. Then they'll go back on the website, provide that information back again, and then that online certificate will be available for them to use. So it is a bit of a complicated process, but it is important that that is done in order to actually get the air quality benefit from removing a dirtier, older technology and replacing it with one that is clean with, of course, the zero local emissions when we're looking at addressing our summertime ozone challenges. So again, all the information is there on the website at lawnmower.utah.gov. And again, the registration opens at noon today and will be open for 24 hours for this springtime lawnmower exchange. And we'd be happy to answer any questions.
How much of a mower does $299 buy?
So both Lowe's, actually any of the participants have models available that will completely purchase that mower. Of course, with more features, self-propelled, larger batteries, they go up in cost, and it can be applied to that. And it's, again, just a choice of the consumer at that point, whether they want to use the entire amount for a lawnmower that is available for that amount, or to add some additional money for additional features. But yes, all of the participants have lawnmowers available today that are less than $299.
I failed to mention, thank you, Bryce, for bringing it up, that if you live in Salt Lake City, the Call to Haul program that you can call for waste removal of large items any time of year is the same system that will come out and pick up your lawnmower curbside, your traditional fuel lawnmower, after the oil and the gas is emptied, like Bryce mentioned. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible, and different from previous ways of distribution where you needed to drive your lawnmower somewhere and perhaps drop it off there to receive your coupon. We're trying to bring it to you and make it even easier. In addition to that, I just want to mention how quiet they are. There's a noise pollution element. A lot of people are working from home now, and believe me, my office gets calls from people complaining about landscaping noise that interrupts their ability to either take that Zoom call or have their baby take a full nap. These are only as loud as a vacuum cleaner. They're also lighter, so my 10-year-old can mow the lawn without actually really complaining about hefting around the heavy old lawnmower. So there's a lot of benefits in addition to the air quality ones. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. Any questions? Otherwise, Bryce is going to mow this lawn for you. Yeah.
To the person at home who thinks, well, I mow once a week, my pollution isn't that big of a deal when you look at all the air. What's your response to that? Why is it important?
You probably have one too, but I'll say that these are emissions produced right in your yard. So it's not even like, I'm a mile from I-15 or I'm not close to a major roadway. You're producing emissions that end up, because of the stagnant air and the heat, cooking into ozone that you end up breathing when you go out to admire your freshly cut lawn or your kids go out to play right after. So it's the most localized in terms of the atmosphere around our houses, and it really matters.
And of course, to the person, that 10-year-old that's mowing the lawn as well, it makes a difference to them. And really, this is, I would answer that question in that we live in a beautiful area. We all live together. We have a thriving economy, which attracts people. Of course, we are the fastest growing metropolitan area in the country. And with that, we need to look at our combined emissions. And so it's not one lawnmower that's going to solve the problem. But when you look at 900,000 homes and moving to cleaner technology over time, that's when we start to see the benefit of improved air quality over time. And so it really is important to, again, look at not only with lawnmowers, but every technology that we have, see what we can do to get the goods and services that we need, but do it with fewer emissions. And that will allow us to continue to grow and thrive as an economy and not have air quality be the one negative about the area that we live in.